In our arrogance, we take God's need and claim that it's ours.
Do you feel religion will be making a comeback?
Not religion, but God. Religion has become narcissistic. Got to kind of save God from religion.
Divorce rates are through the roof, all-time highs. And at the same time, you have this massive push to, I need this, I want mine. Seems narcissism has never been stronger.
So I recommend that we stop saying, I love you.
The topic I wanted to talk about today was dating, marriage, and like I say, if we have time, just the direction the world's going in general.
Well, it depends on which layer of observation. On the surface, the world is going in a very bad direction. But just beneath the surface, it's going in a very good direction. The average person is becoming better. The bad people are becoming badder.
Okay.
But that's good. That's like sorting things out. The good is becoming better, and the bad is becoming obvious. And when it becomes obvious, it's going to implode. It's going to destroy itself. A lie that can't pass itself off for truth just can't exist anymore. So
Sure.
when the lie is blatant, it's over.
Is there any areas in society where you see this most?
I think since COVID, people have become more centered on what is real, what is truly valuable. And many of the assumptions, like how could you live without going to a sport event? How could you live without going shopping? How could you live without going to a movie? We discovered that we can live. Those are not essential in life. But family, you can't live without that. So we've really sobered up a lot. You might say matured a lot. People are more thoughtful. People are more philosophical about life.
Hmm.
They're not just running around keeping busy, while at the same time, the corrupt leaders have exposed themselves so glaringly. There's nothing left to them, which is a good way of the world finding its true function and purpose. I guess the same thing is happening with relationships. This is the social order, the social styles of interaction has become so toxic. It's so unhealthy, and it does so much more damage than good that it needs to be rethought. It needs to be reinvented, a much healthier and more noble form of dating and marriage and family. Dating has become a horror.
So would it be fair to say you're not too much of a fan of the progression that's taken place over the last so many years?
Well, it started off as a promise of better marriages, right? The purpose of dating was to get to understand the opposite gender so that when you come to get married, you'll make a more informed, a wiser choice for the marriage. And since then, marriages have gone south.
Yeah, yeah, to say the least.
And why is that? Because dating has become a lifestyle of its own. It doesn't lead to marriage, it leads to a better date. And we've perfected that art. We're very good at dating, and that's what we're left with. So, yeah, so you have a date. It's getting boring, it's getting burdensome. Even sex has become boring. It doesn't bring what it promises to bring. It has become like an obligation, like a religion. You got to have a date. You got to have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, don't admit it. Just play the game.
Yeah.
Sex has lost its appeal.
It's lost its meaning in a lot of ways too. It's become the center of, it's like it's the first thing which is given away. And it used to be something which had to be achieved. It used to be, a great thing for a guy to be deemed worthy enough, right? But now it doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah. It used to be awesome. It is anything but awesome. And that's why, in desperation, people are looking for alternatives. And that's really twisted. An alternative to sex? We're going to go extinct.
What do you mean by alternative?
Oh, I don't know. They're looking for other ways of reaching highs or extremes of pleasure.
Right, right.
They're killing themselves, basically. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. How toxic can I make my life?
Mhm.
Essentially. So, I mean, yeah, I'd completely agree with this. I think with modern dating, especially with dating apps, it treats people like you're going shopping. You look at someone like, oh, they've got to be this tall, they've got to have this eye color, and so on. And I think the problem is it makes people focus on the outside rather than what's going on in the inside. So, like basic stuff, like if you have chemistry with the person, that's just completely forgotten about. I did
And
have
then
a
they try to
question.
convince themselves that it's a meaningful relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Meaningful.
I mean, so how do you think people should go about picking the right partner for them?
All right, let's start at the most basic. The most basic drive that leads to marriage is the discomfort with being alone. We can't stand being alone in the world, and we need a solution for that. And the only solution is marriage. Marriage is the only relationship in which two people actually become one. You can't do that with your parents, no matter how close you are with your parents. At best, you're number three because they have each other. And if they don't have each other, that's a whole new set of problems. So you're not one with your mother or father, and you're not really one with your children. The only relationship in where two people become one is marriage. The way that that is achieved is through intimacy. Love is not intimacy, and sex is not intimacy. So if you're married and you're having a lot of love and a lot of sex, you're still going to feel alone in the world because you don't have the intimacy. Intimacy means connecting to another person beyond all the things about the person. I'm not infatuated with some feature or some talent or some function. I need you in my life. You, not something about you. In other words, I need to connect to a human being, not to a thing. Love is a thing because you can have, you can not have, you can have more, you can have less. It's a thing. Sex, unfortunately, as you described it, became a thing. It's no longer about a person, it's the thing. So, how was it? That is so vulgar. How was it? Well, there was just me and you. Who's the it? There was me and you and nothing between us. How did an it get into the bedroom? So, surprisingly, love and sex destroy marriages.
So is there no level where that how at what point does it become destructive? Because surely that it is also essential for bonding people.
Sex used to be intimate, and that's why it was awesome. It
Mm.
was like, you really? You can do that? That is awesome because it was about people. Now it became a performance. Now it's pornography. Pornography is not awesome. In fact, it's quite degrading. The porn industry is suffering terribly financially because people don't need to come to porn shops and to porn movies. They're doing it at home.
Mm.
They've got their own camera. They're being intimate with the lights on. That's pornography. So why should they pay to see it when they can do it themselves? Intimacy happens in the dark, right? Traditionally, even in the old television shows, when a couple were going to be intimate, they turned off the lamp, fade to black, and you knew they were being intimate. Intimacy is when you don't see anything, you don't hear anything. It's just the two of you blending, dissolving into each other with no thing coming between you. When you do that, you literally become inseparable
Mm.
emotionally, mentally. You actually have a shared ego. That's an amazing thing. You instinctively protect yourself from insult. Well, when you're married, you instinctively protect your wife from insult. Your ego covers her. That is that is awesome. And then you don't feel alone in the world.
Wow.
So if we can bring back intimacy, then marriage will be marriage, not a love affair. In today's language, there is nothing greater, higher, more desirable than a lover. You have a lover. That is so degrading. A
What should it
lover
be?
means you're in love with love. It's not a relationship. It's like an addiction to sugar. We're addicted to love. The person we're loving is not that important. It's the love. Love can be very, very selfish. We die in the name of love. We kill in the name of love. We cheat in the name of love. It's really a Hollywood invention. Here, let's get a good definition. Love is not important. When someone is important, then you ought to love them. But loving them doesn't make them important. So, for example, the brother you hate is more important than the dog you love.
Yeah, so true. So true.
Can't convince anybody of that.
We do actually have a very special announcement. Today's show was incredible, to say the least. As Rabbi Manis Friedman is someone that we've been wanting to talk to for a very long time. And as a special thank you to him, we've included his book down in the description below. Feel free to check it out, The Joy of Intimacy. Anyway, enjoy.
If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it.
These ideas, these messages, this approach to life, this approach to Torah, to meaning, and to morals is vital for the world today. And we need to get this message out to the entire world. It is universal, it's essential, it's indispensable. To support this effort, if you want to be a partner in this crime, check out the link and make a donation. It really helps a lot. And thank you in advance.